You like to doodle, but you don't have any digital art skills, but you want to break into the NFT space. I totally hear you. I love to draw. In fact, I have books like this that are totally filled from like cover to cover with artwork. And I want to actually transform that into digital art that I can mint and become an NFT. I'm actually going to show you how to take something like this and turn it into an NFT design, all with the help of using Canva. Let's get started. Let's kick things off by taking a photo of whatever we're trying to design. I'm going to take a photo on my smartphone. All right, and now let's just upload this onto Canva. Okay, so here we are on my Canva Pro account. You don't actually need a Pro account in order to do what I'm about to show you about how to make an NFT design from a doodle. So let's get started. I'm going to hit create design, and I'm doing 2000 by 2000 pixels. I think it's a really good size in general. So we're going to click new design. And I am going to save you the trouble of watching me try to upload this photo from my phone. I already went ahead and did that. As you can see, it's an imperfect photo, but we will transform this into an NFT design. So I'm going to write flowers, doodle, NFT design. So right now, what we want to do is essentially remove the background. So we're going to hit edit image. And then we're going to go to this image remover and we're going to see what it essentially does. It's sometimes imperfect, so you have to wait to see what it totally removes. Oh, it actually did like a really good job. That's pretty awesome. So what I'm going to do is actually click the restore button, and that's just because I want to see what it removed, and it looks like it removed a lot of stuff in its entirety. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and you can do this by hitting Control plus, or there's a little slider at the bottom. So I'm going to go in, and I actually want to, I think, save some of the background. So this brush size, you can control it. I'm going to restore this. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure because that's pretty dark. So actually I'm going to hit Control Z. And maybe I'll restore this flower instead. And the cool thing about this is like NFTs, like they can be imperfect, and I design NFTs as a form of artwork. And so I'm not too precious. Obviously, you could do whatever you want. Like this is not clearly a great rendition of like flowers. So I feel like I can be a little more abstract in how I'm doing my online digital designing. So I feel like I like this. This is good. Let's apply this. And if you want to apply something, you just click done. And then we see that we have this background that looks white. We're going to hit apply to kind of finish it off. And then we're going to actually put a background just for the sake of seeing what things look like. I'm not sure I'm going to keep this background, but I'm just putting it in here just to have a better sense of what I'm working with. Okay, so I like what I'm seeing right now. When you can also add things, because this is essentially transparent behind these flowers, you can actually go to elements and maybe you can add in certain colors. For example, maybe I'll type the word gold. I'm a big fan of like all of the gold different options there are, and you can see with something's pro, it will say pro. So there's a lot of elements that actually aren't pro that you can use. For example, maybe I want to try using some, maybe I want to try this. Maybe I'm gonna add this behind or in the like stem, like maybe I'll try doing that. And if you want to kind of edit, you kind of had to play around with it, and that's okay. You know, this is like obviously not Photoshop where you have like more manipulation. It's supposed to kind of be easy. I don't know if this one's gonna work for us. Let's see if there's like other options. When you click on something, like I clicked on this, I got these like magic recommendations, which also is kind of cool. You can see like what works for you. So maybe I'll delete this and I'll see if I can use something like this. And maybe what I'll do is I'll position this like so, and then send it back. And as you can see, kind of lines up with my drawing. And if I wanted to kind of see if I can make it more in the lines, I can move either my object around or the image around. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that looks interesting. It's kind of funky. I mean, obviously, work with me here. We're designing in real time. You know, we're gonna figure this out together. What might also be cool is I'm truly just like winging it right now, but this is kind of like what you can do if you want to, right? Like, I'm not sure I'm gonna use this, but I just want to show you that like if you wanted to apply something like this to your flower, you could hit send back and it would send it back and you could see your flower outline, which I think is pretty neat. I'm not sure that's going to work for me though. It seems like a little like not really my vibe. Some of these can be changed, like the colors. For example, you just kind of have to play around with things. Like maybe this is cool right here. We can just see what we like. The thing to know about these objects though, if you're using them, is the colors are set. They're basically designs. If you don't want to use those, I recommend maybe typing like oval and see if we get any shapes that we can like color. So like for example, maybe there's something like there's an oval shape. Maybe we use something like this, and as you can see, if you can apply the color to something, there'll be a swatch up here where you can actually kind of denote what color you want. So maybe you want something that's orange, or why don't we do purple and see what that looks like. And you know, you could apply that to the background and see what it looks like if you like that. I don't know if I like this. I can be kind of particular, obviously, if I'm designing something on Canva for an NFT, but actually, you know, that doesn't look that bad. I actually think that's interesting. The one thing that's kind of annoying is like when you send something back, it's harder to reach it. So you have to, if you're trying to click on it and reshape it, like you're going to be ending up moving your image around, which can be quite annoying. Sometimes I move it to the side and I just bring it slightly down, and there's not really a perfect way. Trust me, I've tried like finding other options, but I find that that's kind of like the best way to navigate it. And if I feel like, for example, this thing is off, I might move this slightly. But that's one of the things about Canva. It's imperfect, but I think it can really work, and you can kind of move with your arrows if you don't want to use your mouse, and that could also kind of help you have better alignment. I think that looks kind of interesting. Like I don't know if I am being delusional here, but I don't really mind it. That's also kind of cool too. You can also see there's a lot of really great backgrounds that you can apply and see what works for you. It's honestly a bunch of, for me, just like seeing what stands out to me, what I really like. That seems cool. Like what if I did something like this and kind of like lowered the transparency? That's kind of interesting. Maybe I'll do like 70 here. And that's funky. I don't know if this is, it's kind of interesting though. Let's keep it for now. Let's see how we feel about it. And if you wanted to kind of change the coloration of the drawing that you inserted, you can actually scroll down here and you can find different ways of like color mixing, changing the tone of your photo, your images. You can even look at enhancing how the photogenic nature of your image. So there's all these designs and colorations you can choose from. For example, if I wanted to do noir, it kind of removes a little bit of that background that I once had. Or I could do classic. As you can see it now, it turns it white. That's kind of cool. So you just kind of play with it. I might actually turn it to classic because it helps stand out against the background. We could also try doing something like that. That's cool. That's amethyst. And you see there's a little bit of amethyst design. Coloration. Yeah, so it's funky. It's kind of based on your preference. I'm gonna go with classic because sometimes I like being a little boring, or I like art sometimes being a little subtle. And another thing that I've noticed with NFTs is I found that the ones that tend to do well are the ones that have some kind of GIF or some kind of I'm just changing the transparency of the background just to see. I think I might like it at 50% more. So as I was saying, having some animation is also kind of a good thing. I think it can really help your NFT design pop out. So since I have a little bit of gold here, maybe I'll type gold again and see if there's any gifts I can use that are free, because I want to show you the free version. However, I think Pro is fantastic. I love it and I do recommend it. In fact, if you go into the link in the description, you will find a 45-day free trial, which is awesome. Okay, so what am I looking at? Oh, you know what? This is kind of cool, right? Like, what if this was like the stem? You know, what if I remove this and I realign this? As you can see, there's a lot of finagling that happens here. But that seems interesting. And you can kind of shape it to what you want it. Maybe it's like this. You know, maybe it's... And then I send it back. See what it looks like. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I think I like that. That's interesting. Okay, so there's a lot of options we're scrolling through. I obviously don't want you all to be trapped watching me figure out how to design this. But you can, for example, you can use something like this if you wanted. This is a cute design. It's very subtle, and you can send that to the back so it doesn't pop out of and like overdo your artwork. If you don't like that, you can simply delete it. Oops. You can simply delete this by clicking on it, making sure you're clicking on the right thing. There's a lot of different GIFs that you can add though. And I think the big thing is just adding like a little bit of something, like a little movement. It just has like a really nice way of adding dimension. You know, I'm not sure the gold is working. So why don't we go to square? Oftentimes I might use like a square background, and I think it can help really add some motion to a photo. Like they have interesting outlines, frames. There's a lot of different things you can choose from. Let's see. There's a few animations here. Nothing's really standing out to me. Maybe, you know, maybe it doesn't have to be a design. Maybe it's something like this. This is kind of neat. Kind of like, it's just different, right? And you can size it to what seems, this seems really cool. I actually really like this. This is a pro feature. And you can create kind of like a neon sign. That's interesting. I might go with this. Obviously, there are non-neon signs. Oh, you know what's cool? You can even do something like this. That, oh, you know, it actually gets rid of the, it gets rid of the background. So that's a little annoying. So maybe I would, yeah, maybe I would get rid of that. But yeah, I think that's really neat. I actually think that's really cool, and I think I might go ahead and download this, which you can do by clicking download and downloading it as a PNG. This is definitely the highest quality. If you were to add some kind of animation, for example, let's just, for the sake of doing something that has some animation, we can say we wanted to add this. You would have to download this. I highly recommend downloading it as a GIF and MP4, and then you can actually mint both and you can put it into one file. I actually have a video that kind of shows you how to do all of the minting for free on OpenSea, which is one of the biggest NFT exchanges, and I highly recommend it. As you can see, it doesn't take a lot of time to make something that you doodled in your sketchbook into a digital design that you can then go on to mint. I actually have some really cool videos on how to do that, so check out my channel. And if you like videos like this, please like and subscribe. It actually makes a huge difference, and I would truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching.